Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that's running your life, whether you know it or not. It's this hidden force, this invisible architect behind pretty much everything you do. Yeah, we're talking about habits.
All right, let's just jump right in with a number, a big one, 40%. What if I told you that 40% of everything you do every single day isn't really a choice? That's nearly half your day running on autopilot.
And that's because our brains are, well, they're kind of lazy, but in a really smart way. They're hardwired to save energy, to go on autopilot. And just getting your head around that, that's the first step to actually grabbing the steering wheel of your own life.
So let's get into the why of it all. See, your brain isn't just goofing off. It's being super efficient. This automaticity, that's the fancy word for it. It saves up all your brain power for the really tough stuff, the new problems. It's basically a survival hack that, and this is the cool part, we can learn to program ourselves.
You know, when we say habits, it's easy to think of small stuff, like biting your nails. But it's so much bigger than that. We're talking about these deep-down brain pathways, these automatic routines that are calling the shots for a huge part of your day. How you work, how you talk to people, everything.
Okay, so how does this even happen? How does your brain build these little automatic programs? Well, it's not magic, it's actually a pretty simple science. It all boils down to this really powerful three-step cycle. It's called the habit loop.
And here it is, the whole secret sauce. Step 1, the cue. That's the trigger, right? It tells your brain, go time. Step 2, the routine. That's the action you take. And step 3, the big one, the reward. That's the little hit of, ooh, that was good, that tells your brain, hey, let's file that away for later. This little loop, cue, routine, reward, it's the blueprint for every single habit you've got, the good, the bad, all of them.
Right. This is where things get really exciting. Because once you see the blueprint, you realize you're not just stuck with the habits you have. You can actually become the architect. You can start building the life you want, one habit at a time.
Let's take a super practical example, like starting a jogging habit. You have to build the loop on purpose. So what's the cue? Easy. Put your running clothes right by your bed the night before. You can't miss them. The routine? That's the jog. And the reward? Oh, that's that awesome rush of energy and pride you feel afterwards. That's what gets your brain hooked and says, yep, let's do this again. And this isn't just theory. Look at how top performers operate. It's not that they have superhuman discipline. No way. They've just built better systems. They've made it a habit to knock out the hardest stuff first thing in the morning. Why? Because they're saving their best brain power for the decisions that really count. What they get, and what this chart shows perfectly, is that willpower is like a phone battery. You start the day at 100% and it just drains. It gets tired. But a good habit, that's like putting your brain on a super efficient charger. It runs by itself and saves your mental energy. It is like the ultimate life hack. Okay, so we've talked about building good habits. But what about, the other ones, the bad habits? Well, the good news is the exact same logic works in reverse. We can use it to take apart the habits we don't want. So I want you to think for a second. What's your habit? The one you really wish you could kick? Is it the endless social media scroll, the 3 p.m. cookie? Whatever it is for you, I guarantee that same three-step loop is running the show.
The social media trap is a perfect, and I mean perfect, example of this. It's so easy for this one to form. The cue is just a tiny moment of boredom. The routine is picking up the phone. And before you even realize what's happened, 20 minutes are gone, and your focus totally shattered.
So listen up, because this is the real secret to breaking a bad habit. You don't try to ignore the trigger. That's a losing battle. You're never going to eliminate boredom, right? What you do is you change the routine. So when you feel that cue, that itch to grab your phone, you consciously swap in a different action. Get up and stretch, drink a glass of water, do anything else. You're still responding to the cue, but you're rewriting the middle part of the story.
All right, so as we start to bring this all together, I want you to see that this is way bigger than just a few life hacks. This is about understanding your own brain. It's about taking the driver's seat and taking control of all those invisible little things that are actually steering your life. And look, you've got to be patient with yourself. This isn't about some massive overnight transformation. Real change doesn't work like that. It's about the small stuff. It's about paying attention to what you do and making tiny, consistent adjustments, day in and day out. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Once you understand that habit loop, everything changes.
You stop being a passenger, just letting life happen to you, and you become the pilot. Your habits, they're not who you are. They're just tools. Tools you can pick up, use, and even replace. So the real question is, what are you going to build?